Rule number 4 actually piggybacks off that a little bit. It keeps in the same line of keeping things simple. Some of you guys may have heard this, but the rule is you find your question, right? And what that means is, I don't know if you guys have heard the story of the British rowing team in, I believe it was the Sydney Olympics. So the short story is the rowing team for Britain had been terrible for a really, really long time. And then something drastically changed with the Sydney Olympics and they won gold. And in interviewing the team, they all said it came down to one thing. They had a question that they used for everything they did. And that question was, does it make the boat go faster? Right? So if they got a donut, the question, it became a filter, was, does this make the boat go faster? And they started living by that process for the entire summer as they trained for that, and the entire year before as they trained. And what they said is it became a system that they just used for everything they did. Everything was filtered through that thing. Now, what's important about that is you have to have that understanding of what it is you want, and you have to be connected to that thing, because what that requires is a significant amount of sacrifice. But let's be honest, we all understand what it is we're going after here. We're trying to be professional athletes. We're trying to do something that is one of the hardest, most competitive things you can do. So we're going to have to sacrifice things to get there. And this is a very, very easy way to, I don't want to say easy, but to simplify the process down into one simple question that you can start asking. It doesn't mean you have to live by this all the time, but if you can just get to a place of, for me, does this help me get Miami? That's what my question is, right? Because I've created my vision. I'm very connected to what that looks like, to the night, to what that's going to feel like, to what it means to the project that it is. And by asking that question, just by asking that question, I'm kind of innately thinking of in terms of, all right, well, if I decide to do this thing that I know isn't going to be good for me, or that I know is checking me out or taking me away from doing these things, I know what that means. It's a very simple way to say, okay, I'm on the right track and I'm moving forward. Or I can tell you, look, I'm not really committed to this right now, and maybe I need to look at why, So that is rule number 4 for me, is find your question. And more importantly, make sure that question is coming up all the time. At the beginning of this, that question was plastered all over everywhere, just so it was ingrained in my system. I should probably do that again, just because I feel like with these last few months with my back stuff, I've kind of gone away from it, but it's something that's worked great for me. So if that sounds like something you like, yeah, it's a great rule.